Hello, Pally.
Today is Wednesday, January 30th, 2019.
And InFocus starts right now. Club Day is coming to the Quad in just a couple days. We'll fill you in on all the details of what to expect.
And information on the fallout from the government shutdown. Stick around to find out what some political responses have been to the ordeal.
All that and more is coming up on today's show. Welcome to InFocus. I'm Thomas Colburn.
And I'm Jason Goldie.
There's a lot going on around campus.
Here are some important announcements from today's campus bulletin.
Pally students excited to get their groove on have a couple options to get dancing coming up. First is Pally's Winter Formal, which will be in the small gym with Cream Catering. The dress code is semi-formal. DJ Koo from Wild 94.9 will be spinning some sweet tunes. The dance will take place on Saturday, February 9th from 7 to 10. Early bird tickets are $3 for ASB cardholders and $5 without an ASB card. At the door, all tickets are $10, so be sure to buy tickets early. They're available on the Pally web store, on the Quad, and in front of the MAC starting next week. Castellea is inviting Pally students to their upcoming dance this Friday, February 1st from 8 to 11 in the lower gym at Castellea. The dance will have an early 2000s theme, and for non-Castellea students, you must present a current high school ID to be held until the student leaves. Admission is $5, but the first 20 through the door are free.
There are several guest speakers coming to Pally soon. First, future STEM leaders will be hosting Leah Witkowski, the science policy analyst at Innovative Genomics Institute. She will be in P4 during lunch tomorrow, January 31st, to talk about CRISPR-Cas9 gene editing. Make sure to mark your calendars because pizza will be provided. Also, Erica Woolsey, a PhD marine biologist, will be speaking at Pally on February 22nd. She will be bringing 20 VR headsets and will tell us about Immerse, her project to share the ocean with the public through virtual reality. The footage she will showcase will be the final product from her company.
Students should make sure to order the 2019 yearbook now, because after February 1st, the price will increase from $75 to $90. Yearbooks can be ordered on the Pally web store or at the ASB bookkeeper's office in the Tower building. Cash, check, debit, and credit are all acceptable. Email Fatima Giffen at fgiffen@pausd.org for more information or to check if you have already ordered a yearbook. With Valentine's Day coming up, ASB will be selling Valograms starting on January 31st and going on until February 8th. Valograms can be purchased outside the MAC at lunch for $3 for one or $5 for two.
Pally's second semester club day is fast approaching. The day is a Pally tradition where students can learn about all the clubs that Pally has to offer in a fun environment and then sign up for the ones they find most interesting. Club Day is this Friday, February 1st. To check out all the cool clubs and their stands, head over to the Quad at lunch. Representatives from Foothills Middle College program will be in room 404 during lunch February 12th to meet with interested sophomores. Students and parents are welcome to show up and learn more about the program and application process. If you have any further questions, contact Middle College at 650-949-7168 or visit the website on the screen. The Teen Arts Council is hosting another open mic night this Friday, February 1st. Come by the Mitchell Park Community Center at 7:30 p.m. to enjoy a free night of music and comedy.
Moving on now from what's going on around campus to what's happening in the world and locally today.
Let's take a look at what's topping today's headlines in today's News Minute.
Police in South Florida discovered what appears to be a secret tunnel, and it might lead to a nearby bank. It happened when officers in Pembroke Pines were dispatched Wednesday morning to the scene where a car hit a large pothole. Responding officers determined it wasn't just a normal hole in the road. It seemed to lead to a tunnel that appears to go in the direction of a Chase Bank branch. Police say they found a generator, some boots, and a bucket inside the tunnel. The FBI is also investigating.
Lawmakers are meeting on Capitol Hill Wednesday to come up with a budget deal and avoid another government shutdown. A bipartisan group is made of 17 members of the House and Senate who serve on committees linked to government funding. Their goal is to hash out a border security deal that can clear both chambers of Congress and win President Trump's signature. The president tweeted Wednesday if the committee isn't, quote, discussing or contemplating a wall or physical barrier, they are wasting their time. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said the committee can reach a good result if left to its own devices, without interference from anybody else.
A bi-Pakistani group of House lawmakers don't want the president or Congress to receive paychecks when federal workers don't. One of those lawmakers is Representative Dan Crenshaw of Texas. He introduced the Solidarity and Salary Act on the House floor Tuesday afternoon, saying federal employees should never have to carry the burden caused by a dysfunctional government. About 800,000 federal workers went without paychecks during the 35-day shutdown. The proposed bill would withhold pay from the president, vice president, and congressmen and placed in escrow, then released after the government reopens. Now let's shift focus from news around the world today to news from the past.
Our resident historian has been doing some research on the life of Gandhi and is in the studio now to share some of his findings with us.
So what have you learned, Derek?
Thanks, Thomas. Today in history, Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, the political and spiritual leader of the Indian independence movement, was assassinated in New Delhi by a Hindu fanatic. In 1945, a new government came to power in Britain, and negotiations for India's independence began. Gandhi sought a unified India, but the Muslim League, which had grown in influence during the war, disagreed. After protracted talks, Britain agreed to create the two new independent states of India and Pakistan on August 15, 1947. Gandhi was greatly distressed by the partition, and bloody violence soon broke out between Hindus and Muslims in India. In an effort to end India's religious strife, he resorted to fasts and visits to the troubled areas. He was on one such vigil in New Delhi when Nathuram Godse, a Hindu extremist who objected to Gandhi's tolerance for Muslims, fatally shot him. Back to you, Thomas.
Thanks, Derek. Tryouts for the spring season are now going on, but winter sports are still seeing some action.
Anthony is in the studio now with the latest in Pally sports news.
How are winning athletes today, rounding out their season?
First, let's take a look at Pally sports games from yesterday. Boys varsity basketball played a home conference game against Cupertino. They won with a score of 40-39. Now let's see what upcoming games Pally teams are playing. Boys varsity will kick off at 3:30 at Mountain View. At home, girls varsity and girls JV will also play at 5:30 against Mountain View. Moving on to basketball, girls JV basketball.
Thanks for the update on Valley's athletics, Anthony.
Let's now shift focus from a loud crowd to a rainy cloud. Our meteorologist is in the studio to show us what kind of weather we should expect for the next few days.
Let's take a look at today's weather report. So as we look at San Francisco, we got a high of 60 and a low of 53. We're expecting around 58 degrees right now with winds at about 6 to 7 miles an hour. And as we look at Oakland, we got a high of 62, a low of 52, roughly the same temperature as San Francisco. As we go down south, down to San Jose, we got a high of 66 and a low of 52. So that's our Bay Area temperatures for today. As we look at today in Palo Alto, today was around 57 degrees. We had a high of 64, a low of 51. Winds at about 3 miles an hour, humidity at 82% today, so pretty high. As we look at Thursday and Friday, we're expecting a nice cloudy day tomorrow, but a lot of rain coming on Friday. And as we look at the 5cast, we're expecting a lot of rain, 4 straight days of rain. So make sure to stay nice and dry. Well, that does it for today's episode.
Be sure to visit our website to check out old episodes, check the bulletin, or to send us an email.
Until next time, have a great day, Pally.